Should be live here in a second. Good to go there. Let some people get in here. Tweet this out. Oh. If you haven't joined the private DraftKings contest yet, 100 spots open. Make sure you jump in there. I tweeted it out a little bit ago. And I will later too. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Actually, what am I doing here? Starting lineup with Ty Dillon and Corey LaJoie. I actually think that's going to be. I think optimal build is going to be 3 studs and 3 halfway duds, just because of how things kind of shook up with qualifying. And you're going to need dominators. And, all the good guys are either have place differential, or all the good Martinsville drivers either have place differential or they're dominator potential. So I think like last week's strategy of kind of like a more balanced lineup approach isn't going to work tonight when it comes to DraftKings. There's just not a ton of value. And plus, the pricing is, they went aggressive with DraftKings went aggressive with pricing this week. So it's tough to make lineups that without, going with two lower dollar guys. And I'm going to throw in, like the mid $6,000 guys as low dollar guys. But I don't think it's too risky to put Ty Dillon and Corey LaJoie into a lineup just because of what you can afford either up top. Like all you need from Ty Dillon is for him to stay within like a lap of the lead lap. Like just don't, if he doesn't have an awful car from the beginning, he'll be fine. Same with Harrison Burton, Corey LaJoie, same thing. But it also brings into, the possibility of guys that start, like around 20th, that it's where it's pretty risky to pick them, or like the mid-teens to 20th, where it gets risky to pick them. But you have to remember that they have track position to start this race. And that is a huge factor at Martinsville because this track is so small. So if they can stay on the lead lap, it greatly increases their chances of maintaining that position and gives you a decent pivot option. I'm talking like Justin Haley starting 17th. Like, it's not comfortable at all taking him, but if he can stay on the lead lap, he could end up in the optimal tonight just based on if he can come away with a top 15 or something like that, compared to like a 25th place finish out of LaJoie. Allmendinger's a big question tonight. So obviously we don't know if there's a competition caution yet. I don't think so. I haven't seen it. I haven't been paying full attention, but he's going to go down. Bob Pockers just tweeted, to be determined on the competition caution. Not sure they would need one. So since we didn't get one last week, I don't think we're going to get one this week. So Allmendinger, that's what it's going to come down to with him. Like, he's probably going to go down, I'm going to say 2 laps, making that pass through. Now, then it's all going to depend on timing of caution. So if he gets an early caution, that'll be perfect. Like, I'm not worried about Allmendinger if there's an early caution. If this thing goes green the whole first stage, they start lapping cars so quick here. Like, I can see him getting stuck multiple laps down and then behind the one lappers as well. And that's what I'm really concerned about. Do I think this thing's going to go green for a long time? No. Allmendinger's good enough to get back on the lead lap. So I think he can get back on the lead lap. Yes. To answer your question, I think he can. And it's definitely going to help if we have a competition caution or if we have an early wreck. Yeah, I agree. Doc, three studs, and three halfway duds. I think is the way to go this week. So practice times, Chase Elliott, strong, best 20, 25, 30 lap average, looked really good. Ryan Blaney was up there in 30 lap average, as was Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson had the best 10 lap average. Byron only made a 15 lap run, but he had the best 15 lap average. So all the Chevys, all the Hendrick Chevys looked really good. All the Joe Gibbs Racing cars, Toyotas, fell off significantly after 20 laps, and that is concerning. That being said, does the does this race being at night change things? Because if you remember back the last 2 years, Joe Gibbs Racing has raced better at night every single time. So while I'm very concerned about the Toyotas dropping off in speed after 20 laps, yes. Do I think it's going to scare enough people off that I'd like to be on them a little bit more? Yes. Like I wrote up Kyle Busch as like a high risk, high reward play tonight. I think Kyle Busch can do really well tonight. Bubba Wallace was very happy with his car. Kurt Busch, I think I think he can do well. And then obviously Truex. When it comes to Truex, is his $11,500 worth it? That's the thing. He's going to need to lead laps for that thing to be worth it. So practice times, I would say the normal guys looked very good. Chase Elliott had the best car in practice. And then there were guys like Alex Bowman was about a 10th off of Chase, and he didn't like how slow his car was on the long run. But to me, I'm still under the, if the teammates are happy, I think Bowman's going to be just fine. Another guy that looked really solid, Rotodoc wrote him up as his Paul Menard pick of the week. That was Austin Cindric. He basically literally mirrored Joey Logano in lap times during practice. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 lap average. So definitely like that as his Paul Menard pick of the week. I wouldn't say like this is getting hot already. I was just outside. It's snowing today. It's April 9th and it's snowing here. Man. Anyway, I wouldn't like the road course guys are fine. I wouldn't put a ton of stock into it though. I mean, Allmendinger's really good at Martinsville and always has been. He's been slow this weekend, and obviously he has that pass through penalty. But yeah, we discussed AJ. It's Matt. It's all just going to come down to timing on cautions is what it's coming down to. Definitely needs a competition caution. It doesn't need it, but it'd be very helpful. And then if we don't get a competition caution, it's going to be, he'll need an early wreck caution or something to kind of help him out. But it's not scaring me away from picking him at all. Like he's $6,600 starting dead last at one of his best tracks. I will gladly, if that's what kills me today, then that's what kills me. But I'm not overly concerned about Allmendinger and his pass through. And he might not even go 2 laps down. Like there's a possibility he only goes 1 lap down and is able to fend off the leaders and kind of stay in front of. I don't know. But so their tires in qualifying be able to take will be an unapproved. I'm honestly not sure about that. It looks like there's a unapproved adjustment. It was Larson flat spotted his tires yesterday during qualifying, didn't he? I was like half paying attention to it. So I mean that's something to consider. Yeah, I'm right there with you, kind of. But like, what's the? And that's where, like, I haven't projected. I don't know where you haven't projected, Nick. I think I haven't projected for like 20-something%. But you look back at, Richmond last week, Justin Haley, basically the same price, starting dead last, and he had 10%. He was at 10%. I have Allmendinger almost at 30. Counted 7 car with that have changed tires or that flat spotted their tires. And who are they? Low 30s, yeah. So we're close. But there's also, I mean, there's the thing with Allmendinger is there's decent guys in that price range, especially like Bubba Wallace, or if you're going up to Eric Jones, or even coming down to like Harrison Burton, Corey LaJoy, Ty Dillon. Like you can get a good lineup without doing Allmendinger. For me, yeah. As much as I like Todd Gilliland, I won't have any of him today. And I'm not I don't think I'm doing 150 today. So if I did, I'd have some, but just because, like I said, starting position still matters. If he can stay on the lead lap, he could pull off a decent finish. But still, starting 10th, like he's going to need. I no. Yeah, Kurt Busch and Bubba Wallace, I thought looked pretty good yesterday. 20 lap average. You know, they were Kyle Busch was second, Kurt Busch was fourth, Bubba Wallace was fifth when it came to 20 lap average. The problem with these Toyotas is they like fell off a cliff after 20 laps, which if that's the case again tonight, that's going to be a big problem. Like that's going to hurt them a lot. So I like Kurt Busch's history here at Martinsville. I like his 20 lap speed, obviously, but the Toyotas, and again, I think the Toyotas perform better at night. I don't think they're going to fall off as much, but it's definitely concerning, especially if this race goes green to start for a long time. Oh yeah, if he flat spots his tire, or if they switch tires, absolute, like I wouldn't touch him. I don't think Kez is starting too high. For like, I wouldn't go crazy on him, but he's so good at this racetrack, and wasn't great in practice, but I'd probably go about 10% or something, that kind of exposure with Keselowski just because of his track record here. Let's go. Okay, so my optimal according to my projections is Chase Elliott, William Byron, Ryan Blaney. No, I haven't done any build yet. So how much salary do you have left? Typically, I'm not sure this is the race to leave salary off the or on the table. My optimal: Elliott, Blaney, Byron, Allmendinger, Wallace, and LaJoy. Again, the biggest question is just whether Allmendinger's going to be able to stay within a lap with his. Man, that's a lot of salary to leave. Like, are you? That's just a ton of salary, I think, to leave on the table. I don't know. We'll see if I end up on any builds that have that much left, but that's a ton. I don't think this is the race to do that. No. Keselowski only led all those laps because of the package. Like as soon as he got out of the car that race, he said he didn't have the best car, and you just couldn't pass with it. I don't think Chase does that. I think Chase leads top 150 laps today, but top 5 finish, 150 laps, 50 fastest laps, he'll be fine. Chase pull seems like Blaney pull last week. Yeah, and that's exactly what I put in my article. Like, who's gonna challenge Chase at the beginning of this race? Because the fastest car close to him is Byron, and he's 2 rows back. So, yep, Truex, yeah, both of them did. Just couldn't pass. God, those Martinsville races were awful. I'm gonna go ahead and put that lineup in my optimal, and I'm gonna do a lot of lineups this week, starting with Chase Elliott, William Byron. Like, I'm so high on those two. I don't hate Alex Bowman, but I think Byron has a car that can win. I think Byron can get fastest laps. He's been so fast this season. This is a very good track for him. Top fives. I don't know if everybody's talking about Byron. I know RotoDoc wrote him up. Elliott. I agree with Elliott. Byron, I could see going against Blaney a little bit. Talked about Kyle Busch in my article as a pivot. Also, don't hate coming down to like a Bowman. There we go. Bowman, contrary. I don't know if it'd be considered a contrarian play. I haven't projected ownership wise 19%, 19 point something percent. I like as much as he hated his car, I don't think it's going to be that bad. Another guy that hated his car though, Chase Briscoe. I mean, he hated his car. Could you see going Blaney Byron and staying off the Chase for some lineups, Nick? How much of a plug-in do you think Chase Elliott is today? Double punts, yeah. I definitely consider it. Depending on what you mean by punts. Like, I'm not touching BJ McLeod. I'm not touching Cody Ware. Balicki. Any of those guys. Did he tweet that? Because his radio chatter was the exact opposite. I'm pulling up his Twitter right now. He said he should be good tomorrow. I had a hot rod in qualifying, which, I actually like Chastain quite a bit today. I'm going to do some lineups with Chastain. Hard to avoid Chase today. He was so fast in every metric and he crushed here, but things happen. Absolutely root for a Byron Blaney in the third different, yeah. And then I could see, I don't hate going, Elliott, Blaney, Bowman, or Elliott or Logano, getting off of Byron and going up to Logano. I don't hate that either. Hell, even going up to Elliott, Blaney, Kyle Busch. Blaney, Bell, Byron. I don't know. I'm not big on Bell today. I definitely like Blaney and Byron, but I'm not big on Bell. At 9,100 starting 7th, he's going to need to get Dominator points. I don't think it happens. Chastain slid. Yeah, I think a lot of people did. That's a good question. Larson being overlooked. Starting 8th. Here's the thing. We have yet to see Kyle Larson be Kyle Larson, and he keeps getting over-owned every single week, despite not having the speed. He's the highest owned, on average, the highest owned driver in non-road course and non-super speedway races this year. He's averaging 35% ownership over Fontana, Vegas, Phoenix, and Richmond, which is just too high for how he's performing this year. So, and at Martinsville, yeah, exactly. He keeps putting up amazing practice times and not backing up in the race. So you throw that in with, he looked good in practice. You throw in the fact that Martinsville isn't by any means Kyle Larson's best track. He's never really figured it out here. The only reason he put up dominator points last year was because he started on the pole. I don't think Larson's being overlooked. I think people might be a little too high on him again still, just because they're still waiting for that that 2021 Larson to come out. And man, he's not even peeking his head out the window for 2021. So there'll be one of these weeks where Larson crushes and I lose my ass. But until then, I don't love him. Is Truex overpriced to build lineups if not winning? No. I don't think he needs to win to get there. I think he needs a top 5, but he's going to need to lead laps. Can he go up there and get 50 laps led and 30 fastest laps? Pair that with a top 5 finish, he'll be fine at 11.5. It's just really tough to fit him into a lineup when you're going with Chase Elliott too. But I think that combination would be like a definite tournament play. Going Chase and Truex. Yeah, I agree. It's happening every week, and with how fast Larson was, and especially how fast his qualifying lap was going to be before he went too hot into the turn. I'm not there on Larson. Harrison Burton, definitely think he's in play this week. All he has to do is just not screw up entirely, and he'll be fine starting 29th. I think he can come away like 22nd place finish, which is perfect for that price. Hamlin's worth a fade every week. You know the mantra here. If Denny Hamlin wins, it's a bad day. But yes, I agree. Starting 25th. I forgot he started 25th. I'm going to end up building some Hamlin lines today. I know it. That doesn't make me feel good. Let me pull up something quick. Like, I'm going to sit here and say that I'm not worried about Joe Gibbs Racing's fall off entirely too much. I can't sit here and say I hate Denny Hamlin starting 25th. That's just not. That's the problem with Logano, though. He doesn't dominate. Like he has. That was always been the case, or that has always been the case with the Penske cars, but especially of Logano and Keselowski up until obviously this year. It's always been they don't get there dominator wise unless they come on and lead the final portion of the race and win it, and that's how they get into the winning lineups. There's no doubt in my mind that Joey Logano can finish top 5 today. He's very good at Martinsville, has a strong car. He's not. The problem is, it's just like what we saw last week. If he gets up there running fifth, running top 2 even, he's not going to get fastest laps because Joey Logano doesn't put up fastest laps. So when you're relying solely on where they're running and a little bit of place differential, you really need them to win, and then you're asking for like even more. And I don't particularly like being in that position. So like as a flat out dominator, no, because Logano just doesn't do it. And especially starting 14th, having to get up there, he's going to take his time to get up there through the race. He might finish top 5. He might finish top 3, but I can almost guarantee unless he gets up there and leads laps, he's not going to put up dominator points. He's not going to put up fastest laps. So, yes, you can play him. Yes, there's place differential potential there starting 14th, but I do not rely on someone like Joey Logano to get you dominator points. I wouldn't. I honestly won't even touch him if he starts 10th. It's way too high for him. He's not going to maintain that. He'll be lucky to finish top 20. Any interest in Almirola, Custer? No. Nope. Not at all. Maybe a little bit Almirola. Like I said, I'm not doing 150 today. So I won't have any Almirola. But no, Chase is gonna should dominate the early part of this race by a good margin. Like about Truex gains he made from first to his second run in practice, several tenths. Could see Hamlin making gains too. I mean, it's Truex and it's Martinsville. I mean, that's right there with you. I'm gonna do a Truex Chase lineup here quick. Just gonna see what my projections say when you force those two in. Just a second here. I don't think Jones is going to be my projections love Eric Jones today. Like my projections love Eric Jones so much. I think he's like if you run my just run my projections and let it go through 150 lineups. I think Jones is like the 5th highest guy. Like it loves Eric Jones today. So I don't know if he's gonna. Ownership wise, like it's hard to consider him a pivot when I think he's going to be at like 20%. But I think Eric Jones, yes, is a very good play. And then obviously we talked about Cindric, which is Rotodoc's Paul Menard pick of the week. Yeah, don't get me started on. Well, this kind of does. I hope nobody's playing this engineer today, the $15 GPP. What it was already an awful price structure last week, or has been for the last few weeks, when it was like 444,000 total price structure with 100 grand to first. All DraftKings did this week was cut out 100 grand, or like they cut it by 25%, the total prize pool, and they kept first place at 100 grand. Playing that, unless you're just throwing in a handful of lineups or 1 or 2 lineups, playing that at 150, why not? I don't get it. The chances of you making money there are not very high. Like, this is why I stick to high dollar, single entry, 3 entry maxes. And I'll throw in like a couple, in these huge ones. But that payout structure is so bad. So bad. Okay, here we go. My projections with Truex and Elliott, the top one that it's throwing out is Truex, Elliott, Byron, Ty Dillon, Harrison Burton, and Bubba Wallace. Leaves $300 left on the table. You can obviously move up to Allmendinger if you want. We talked about Allmendinger a little bit earlier. I'd probably go Bubba here. My projections have Bubba higher. Just barely though. I mean, it's tiny. The second highest projected lineup forcing Chase Elliott and Martin Truex Jr. is Allmendinger instead. I'm trying to. Yeah, I think Bell comes in at where do I have him at? Like mid-teens, and I'm not on Bell at all today, at all. I'm going to, with this lineup, I'm going to come down to basically I'm going to take Byron off of here. Ooh, you could go Logano over Byron here, but or even Bowman. I'm going to go Kyle Busch and then take off Ty Dillon, I think, for a Corey LaJoy and try to or Harrison Burton. That's where I'm kind of tossed up. Is Burton was just slightly faster in 10-lap average. And Ty was slightly faster in 5-lap average, but neither of them made a long run. Yeah, I'm just going to take Ty off here and come down to LaJoy. Just to get off that chalk. LaJoy didn't look good on long runs either, but yeah, so Truex, Elliott, Kyle Busch, Burton, Wallace, LaJoy. Thoughts on pairing Ross Chastain, Eric Jones, Martin Truex Jr., and Chase Elliott? Well, let's do it. See what it looks like. I probably wouldn't throw Jones on there, but let's do Harrison Burton, Ty Dillon. Get off Eric Jones. And the problem is, so doing a lineup like this, and even if you're going Chastain Jones, I'd probably go Cindric here, by the way. You either or. But what you're really hoping that Chase Elliott gets a ton of dominator points until Truex can get up there. What I don't like about this lineup is it's all place differential except for Chase. So you're relying so heavily on Chase to get those dominator points. And if he comes out, if Byron comes out there, or if Blaney gets up there, or even Kyle Busch, someone like that gets up there and leads, it's especially leads early. I don't like not having you basically have two dominators here, is what I'm saying. You have Truex and Elliott, so you're really relying on Chase Elliott to dominate a ton. Not to say he can't. That's just not the optimal build that I'm kind of looking at today. So, it's a decent place differential lineup, but I'd probably get off of Truex and come down to someone like even Blaney saves you $600 in cap that you can then work with elsewhere. And if you wanted to do like Chase Elliott, Byron, Chastain, come here and I'm just going to throw Burton and Ty Dillon just for. I mean, we're not here to try to predict that. I mean, anything can happen. What if? Yeah. I mean. We back. So there we go. My mouse has a back button on the right or the left side of it, and my thumb has been hitting it lately. My bad. Why do you think Truex will make it up front in this car? One, like they practice, like I think the practice speeds are being a little overblown as far as how bad. Like, yes, the Toyotas were not good on the long runs at all. Like across the board, Toyotas were bad on the long runs. I don't like. I don't think they're going to be that bad in the race. And Truex is really, 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 really good at Martinsville. Like this is one of his best tracks, if not his best track. So there's a reason that he was the favorite by most sports books coming into this weekend. So it's certainly plausible to think Truex is going to get up front, even in this car. All right, so I don't hate this lineup at all. Chase Elliott, William Byron, Ross Chastain, Alex Bowman, Ty Dillon, Harrison Burton. Do not hate that at all. Going to go ahead and lock that one in as well. So you get place differential Ross Chastain, you get dominator potential William Byron and Chase Elliott, and partially dominator potential and place differential with Bowman. And then Ty Dillon, Harrison Burton, you're just hoping they do their thing. And obviously you can come down to Corey LaJoie if you want. I actually don't hate. I'm going to lock this one in and then do a second one here. I'll check that in a second, Nick. Chase. This is the from before. Chase, Byron, Chastain, Bowman. Now, if you went LaJoie and Ty, gives you $400 to come off of Bowman up to Logano. And I don't hate that one either. Yeah, I don't hate that either. So I'm going to go ahead and lock that one in. All right. I'll do my optimal if I lock in Cindric here. So if I lock in Cindric, top lineup it's spitting out is Chase, Kyle Busch, Byron, Wallace, where am I at here? Bubba, Burton, and Cindric. Yeah. Yeah, so a little bit different than your entire article, Nick, slightly. And I'm gonna lock in both here because I don't hate this one either. Kyle Busch. Yeah, I'm gonna lock in both. Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, William Byron, Bubba, Harrison Burton, Austin Cindric. Then okay, so Chase, yep, Chase Blaney, Byron. Oops. Ty Burton Cindric. Let me put that in my spreadsheet real quick. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be ending up on Ty Dillon, Harrison Burton lines, and that's why I don't hate coming down to LaJoy off of one of them, especially Ty. I think Ty is going to be a little more chalky than Harrison is, but LaJoy gets you a little bit of a discount, and you could, if you go Chase Blaney, Cindric, Burton, LaJoy. I mean, it gives you room to go Logano then. If you wanted to throw Logano in there. Or, if you wanted to come down to Bowman. If we went, let's take Cindric off here, go Bubba Wallace. If you like Larson, I don't hate. Go Elliott, Larson, Blaney. I'm not big on Larson today. If you want some Larson exposure, I don't hate this build. Chase, Blaney, Bubba, Burton, LaJoy, Larson. It's kind of similar to going. Like if you think, I'm obviously really high on Byron today. If I think Larson's going to be my Byron today, this isn't a bad build to roll with. And then you can like, you can come down off of Blaney, go to Kyle Busch, go to Denny Hamlin, something like that. If you didn't trust Blaney, but Blaney's going to be so good today. Like we all know Blaney's going to be good. LaJoy, the lowest today as far as usability. I mean, it's Martinsville, so anything can happen. But as far as I'm concerned, probably JJ Yaley has this tendency to run better than he should. Plus, that 15 car has a little bit of speed, but you're really hoping for a lot of attrition if you go Yaley. If you go down to Yaley instead of, or not even instead of LaJoy, but like just anywhere, if you come down to Yaley. So like if you're banking on attrition, I'd probably still go LaJoy unless you can swing, unless the extra $400 is the difference between Christopher Bell and William Byron. So if that $400 by taking Yaley gets you up to Byron instead of Bell with your lineup, I'm all right with it because LaJoy starts 26, Yaley starts 32nd. Let's go ahead and do that. It's because I'm kind of curious what kind of lineup we can get with if we go take Bub out of here, take Larson out of here. If we go Yaley and Ty Dillon, Elliott Blaney, Byron, Kurt Busch, Ty Dillon, JJ Yaley. Don't hate it at all. Again, you're just hoping that Yaley doesn't wreck, doesn't have major issues. Let's see, we're at 15. Of course, driver average isn't gonna work. But I just want to make sure I'm 100% right here that 15 car is the best of the back markers. So Yaley finished 33rd last week at Richmond. Smithley finished 32nd at Phoenix, 30th at Vegas, 21st at Fontana. So Cody Ware's car is not fast this year at all. Well, I could be wrong. I might be wrong. Let's look at practice speeds real quick. Cody Ware was not even close. Balicki's in the 77 and actually made a 20 lap run. Starts 31st though. Yeah. 70. It's like I forgot that Balicki's in the 77. I haven't paid. If you can't tell, I haven't paid any attention to back markers this year. Yeah, I'd rather take off Yaley and go. Oh, you can't even go Balicki. Shit. If you wanted to do this lineup, I'd probably go Ware. Because Balicki's car isn't. He at least has halfway decent equipment. The other back markers are not good. Where can I save 100? Like, I wish it'd work out to get Kurt Busch in there. You throw Balicki in here. Most you can get up to is Keselowski. But you could always come down off of Byron and go to Bowman. Yeah, I don't like coming down to Austin Dillon over Kurt Busch if you're doing this line. And I don't like coming off of Byron down to Bowman either. I like Byron way too much today. Watch Austin Dillon luck out with with another top 10 today. So yeah, I'm going to stick with Yaley here actually. And again, you're hoping for the best when you punt like that. But I definitely like, getting Elliott, Blaney, Kurt Busch, and Byron in the same lineup. I like that a lot. But just for exposure in this, I'm going to come down off of Byron and grab Bowman. And then go Balicki. Got something in my eye. Yeah. So I'm going to go Chase here. Chase, Blaney. Just because I have so much Byron already. Bowman, Kurt Busch, Hydellen, and Balicki. Save that one. Who give me some ideas to start a lineup with here. Or we can build. I guess I got to do a Hamlin lineup, don't I? Much as I don't want to. Start with Hamlin. Any lineup that doesn't include no either of them. Take them both out. I don't know if you could. Scott, I mean, what's your banking there? Like, there's essentially 3 dominators, maybe 4, in the top, starting in the top 10, which would be Chase, Byron, Larson, and maybe Harvick. I don't know if it's worth even making a lineup without one of Byron or Elliott, because the only way it doesn't work is if one or both from wrecks. Like Chase wrecks and Byron doesn't have a great car and just like runs 7th all day, which I don't see like those 2 things happening in the same race. Tyler Reddick. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good point. But does Almirola yeah. Almirola did make a pretty long run in practice. 4th and 20 lap average. About the same speed as Logano. Throw Reddick into here. So optimal according to my projections with Reddick is Chase. Like, it's going to throw in Chase, Byron on every single one of these. Eric Jones, Bubba, and Allmendinger. Leaves you an extra 600 on there. Come off of Jones and go up to I'd almost take Allmendinger off here and come down to low, like a tie, and then go. I mean, you could go Chastain. I still want to get 3 Dominators in here, though. Go Chase, Byron, Reddick, Chastain, Bubba, Ty Dillon. Take off Bubba, Ty Dillon, come down to Harrison Burton. Dennis. Bowman. Take Burton off of here and hit LaJoy. And then throw in Kyle Busch. So Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, Tyler Reddick, Ty Dillon, Corey LaJoy. Again, just trying to Truex Blaney, like, what is this? It's not possible to fit all. It's only 5, and it's not possible to fit. So let me know what you mean by those. That'd be one hell of a start, wouldn't it? My favorite guys, all in one. So I'm gonna go lock this one in. Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick. And then you could go either Ty or Harrison Burton here. Let's stick with Ty. Don't forget what? Chastain and Burton. I thought it added. Okay, you had Truex, Blaney. Like this, there's no way. Kyle Busch, Bell, and Harvick. It adds up for sure, but there's only 5. You need 6. Oh yeah, yeah. Can we make a lineup of that? Like, oh, I'm sure it's possible. Hamlin, Chastain, Burton, Austin Dillon, Daniel Suarez, Kyle Larson. Almost there at Blaney. The ultimate Voldemort lineup. Yes. All right, so let's do. I don't have enough Blaney, so let's do Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney. Elliott, Byron, Bowman. I'll do that one next. I'm gonna do a Blaney lineup here quick. Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney. I'm gonna try to do one without Byron. And Not liking what it's spitting out here. Let's throw Bowman on there for now, and then do Ty Dillon. Let's just throw Harrison Burton on here to see what we're working with. 75. Could throw Cindric, but I don't love that. You know, if you did Chastain, you could do Kurt Busch, which I think we talked about earlier. If you Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Bubba Wallace, Ty Dillon, Harrison Burton. You know what you could do? You could triple low dollar guy here and throw Truex on there too. Turn into a 3-dominating race with Chase, Blaney, and Truex. That's what you need here, since you're basically punting 3 times. I still like going probably Hamlin and then Bubba here. I'm going to go ahead and lock that one in. Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Dennis. Bubba. On Harrison Burton. All right. Elliott, Byron, Bowman, Reddick. Harrison Burton. Top. I don't mind it. I'd probably take off Reddick and go Chastain, though. Even though Chastain didn't look at all good Friday, which was yesterday. Something about Chastain, though. Where was he? He made a 15-lap run. Oh, man. I think I'm still gonna roll Chastain here and hope that he figures it out today. With this one, Elliott, Bowman, Byron, Chastain, Burton, Ty Dillon. Man, there's Burton, Ty Dillon. The Burton, Ty Dillon stacks, I think, are going to be, the more I'm doing this, I think that's going to be where a lot of people end up. Let's see here. Who do I want to get more on? Do one without. Let's do a Chastain or Almirola instead of Chase. And then throw Blaney on there. I'm not going to skip over Byron. That's too difficult. Let's throw Ty Dillon on there, and then Bubba gets us to that. Truex, Blaney, Almirola, Byron, Ty Dillon, Balicki. Think of that for a second. You could even come down off of Byron to Bowman there. That'd get you to 53, which could get you to LaJoy. So then you're hoping Almirola leads the opening laps, Blaney gets up there, takes over, Truex comes on late, and then Bowman does Bowman's thing. It's kind of what, if you're looking at a build like this, it's kind of where you're hoping that race plays out. And obviously, like, you go Byron there as well. Byron and Balicki instead of Bowman and LaJoy. 20 laps or less. How these percentages look. Elliott looks fine. I don't mind going that much Elliott. Byron, I'd probably tone Byron down a little bit. I'd tone Bubba down a bit. I'd bump Blaney up. Cindric, I don't know if I'd go that high on Cindric. I'd probably max Cindric out at about 20. But yeah, Bubba, I wouldn't go 66% Bubba on it. And I think Blaney's worth going up higher than that. I'm locking in this lineup here. Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman, Truex, Almirola, LaJoy, Ty Dillon. And I'm probably going to do that other one too with Balicki in it. Truex, Blaney. Well, what happens if we throw Denny Hamlin on there instead of Truex? Oh, son of a bitch. Ricky Stenhouse has been so bad this year. I always forget what his track record at Martinsville is like. '19th to 21st in 3 of the last 4. He was slow in practice. 4/10 off on 10-lap average. That team's just struggling big time. Let's throw Kyle Busch on there. Go Kyle Busch, Blaney, Almirola, Byron. Go Allmendinger or Bubba Wallace with Tydell in there. So again, you're hoping. I don't hate this lineup at all. Blaney, Byron, Kyle Busch, Almirola, Allmendinger. God. Damn, I lost some followers on Twitter. I wonder what I said to piss people off. What I said today. Okay. Let's go back here to actually stop. Cancel that. So right now I'm at 45% Chase Elliott. Actually, no, I'm missing a lineup, aren't I? My optimal. I forgot to record my optimal here. So my optimal is Chase, Byron, Blaney. Wait, is that right? Bubba Wallace. And LaJoy. Is that right? Did I mess something up here? My brain's all messed up right now. Let me double check here real quick. So yeah, Elliott, Blaney, Byron, Allmendinger, Wallace, LaJoy. That was the first one I put in that I forgot to record. Elliott, Blaney, Byron, Allmendinger, Wallace, LaJoy. Okay, so through 12, I built 12 lineups on here so far. I'm at 10 with Chase Elliott, 6 Blaney, 7 Byron. Okay. Let's get actually, I only have one lineup right now with Elliott, Blaney, Byron, which are my 3 highest projected drivers today. So let's do another one here. Lock those 3 in. Okay. Top is with Allmendinger, Wallace, and LaJoy. Next up, it's showing Burton, Ty Dillon, and Jones. Which I think the other one, or like the pivot off of that, would be Cindric, which was Doc's article. You're pretty locked. I mean, you're locked into like a corner here if you're doing Elliott, Blaney, and Byron. Because you can't do much to get up to like even Kurt Busch unless you drop down to JJ Yaley, which I think Elliott, Blaney, Byron, Kurt Busch, Ty Dillon, JJ Yaley. Big punt there. But if JJ Yaley can survive, Kurt Busch does his thing. I'm going to throw that one in there just to have it in. Kurt Busch, Ty Dillon, Yaley. Let's go Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman, Bilicki, Burton, Kurt Busch. Similar kind of build there, but just a little different. Elliott, Blaney, Bowman. Yeah, there's not much you can do when you go Blaney, Elliott, Byron. There's not a lot of wiggle room there at all. Let's go Elliott, Kyle Busch, Byron. I'm not big on Harvick today. I know some people are. And that might be a mistake. Like, excuse me. I've been high on Harvick a lot this year. Starting 6 just worries me. Because he doesn't typically doesn't dominate here. He's typically about 6th to 8th place car in Martinsville. But I mean, you can't. $8,400. Practice wise, where was Harvick? I think I still have a bad taste in my mouth from Harvick last week. Like, yeah, he ended up 3rd, but he didn't run as well as I thought he would. His practice times weren't good at all, but his teammates were decent. So Harvick had major fall off, especially once he got to the 20 lap. So from 15 to 20 lap, he lost a 10th and a half. And that was after, so from his 5 lap to his 20 lap average, he lost 2.5 tenths. Just comparing Chase Elliott's 5 lap to 20 lap average, he lost less than a tenth. So that's some big fall off there. Okay, let's go Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, William Byron. Throw on Harrison Burton and Ty Dillon. See what we're working with cap wise. I don't know what to think of Chase Briscoe. Didn't sound happy with his car at all. Practice. And like in this position, I'd rather go Kurt Busch. Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, William Byron, Austin Cindric, Bubba Wallace, Harrison Burton. I'm going to go ahead and lock that one in. By the way, it looked like contests were filling pretty good today when I checked earlier. Considering it's Masters weekend. Look into the lobby here real quick. $121 contest is almost full. I honestly kind of hope the big GPP doesn't fill because that awful payout structure. Junebug's almost full. Yeah, there's quite a few that. Question of the day. Yes, I think he can. He's just going to need early luck. If this thing goes green early, I'm not going to like that. But Allmendinger is really good here. Like, I don't think he's going to be as high owned as he should, and I don't have enough exposure of him right now. I'll say that. I don't have enough. Backing up to Elliott, Blaney, Byron, total punts of Yaley and Bilicki. You can fit in one of those mid-8 guys. I don't like going double punt here. I would consider that if I could get up to Chastain. If you could go Elliott, Blaney, Byron, Chastain, I'd consider that. But you can't even throw Bowman on there. You could, you could get to Reddick, but I don't like double punts. Bowman over Larson, as far as like salary, yes. I think I'm liking Bowman more and more as the day goes on, and Larson's still at that point of prove it to me that you actually have speed, because every week he looks great in practice and then he doesn't do great in the race. So, and Martinsville's not a good track for Kyle Larson either. So he's got a lot working against him this week. It's tough fitting in Blaney and Elliott. You have so much more room you can work with if you throw in a Kyle Busch. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Chase Elliott. Let's see what else we got here. Locking in Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, William Byron. I feel like I need another Logano lineup. Oh, this is going to be even tougher. If you try to go Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and Logano. Like I said, my projections are really high on Eric Jones. I'm not particularly. What you could do here, though, go Bubba Wallace, and if you think Stenhouse can move up, I don't love that build at all. Logano's he's just not a dominator, which makes it tough at a 400 lap race. I'd definitely rather have William Byron. Elliott, Blaney, Byron, Allmendinger, Stenhouse, Ty Dillon. It's a little bit different than my optimal, which I think is. Why do I keep forgetting this? I think it's LaJoy and Bubba instead of Stenhouse and Ty Dillon. I'm going to throw this one in there too, though. We got 4 more lineups left, 4 more spots left to build. Let's go Truex, Elliott. Because right now I only have 2 Truex lineups. I'll come back to that, Karen. I only have 2 Truex lineups, and one of them doesn't have Elliott on it, and neither of them have Byron on it. You definitely can't do Truex, Elliott, Byron, though. I don't know what I'm thinking there. Unless you go, maybe you can. Truex, Elliott, Byron. And then Bubba or Allmendinger. With Burton and Ty Dillon. See what my optimal with Truex, Byron, and Chase is. Basically this, except Bubba instead of Allmendinger. So I'm just going to put both in. Chase Truex, Byron. Ty Dillon, Harrison Burton, Allmendinger. And I'm going to put the same one in just with Bubba. I have Bubba and Allmendinger basically projected for the exact same. 33 points, just a little bit above. Okay. Truex, Blaney, Logano, Allmendinger, McDowell, and LaJoy. I'd probably jump up. If you're going to do a build like this, I'd probably do Harrison Burton or Ty Dillon instead of LaJoy. Probably. McDowell is very risky. Starting 16th, and he's not good at Martinsville. You have no early dominator in this lineup. So I think what you'd be banking on happening if you went with this, which I don't hate it. I just don't like that there's no early dominator. So what you'd be banking on here is like Chase Elliott leads early or Byron leads early, and then wrecks. Like you're hoping that they wreck. I wouldn't hate something like this in a single entry to get away from the Chase Elliott chalk. Like obviously Blaney has a good car. Logano, I'd probably come down off of Logano to Byron with this. So I'd probably do Truex, Blaney, Byron. Gives you 58. So take off McDowell. And if you threw on, even LaJoy doesn't quite get you there. Maybe do a Bubba Wallace. That still doesn't do it. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. I don't think the Truex Blaney Logano is the way to go. I'd probably go Byron. If it was me, maybe come down. See, I don't even think you'd come down off of Blaney to Larson. Elliott, Logano, Byron, Cindric, Suarez. Elliott, Logano, Byron, Cindric, Suarez, LaJoy. Again, I'd probably go Ty Dillon instead of LaJoy. I have Ty Dillon projected for 22.5, and I have LaJoy projected for 16. But I have LaJoy projected for about half the ownership of Ty. So it's kind of one thing I like more about LaJoy actually is his starting spot, because he's more likely, in my opinion, to stay on the lead lap in the first run than Ty Dillon is. Now, if Ty Dillon has a similar car to what he had last week at Richmond, he'll be perfectly fine and starting 34th. He's just going to be chalk today. So, but with this lineup, like you are off the chalk a good amount. You know, Elliott and Byron are going to be a little chalky, but you got Logano, you got Cindric, who's not going to be high owned. You got Suarez, who's not going to be super high owned. So I'd probably run chalk with Ty Dillon instead of LaJoy and do something like that. Thing is, Suarez is not good at Martinsville. And yeah, he starts 30th, but it's tough to take him at a track that he's not good at. And he didn't show much speed at all in practice. He was like, I don't know, 15th and 20 lap average. So I'd probably come off of Suarez down to someone like Allmendinger or Bubba. And then that could open the door for you to get Kyle Busch instead of Logano. Who I think Kyle Busch has a higher chance of dominating than Logano does. It's kind of where I'm at with it. Just building lineups. That's it. If you have any questions or anything, let me know. Or if you want to see a build a certain way, let me know, and I'll see what I can do. Happy with the stage lengths. What are they tonight? I don't even know. Why isn't this on the homepage of JSki? Looks like the stage lengths are 100, 200, 200. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. It will be interesting though to see how the 400 laps instead of 500 affects the race. A little bit more urgency and less time, like for teams that are off. That's less time for them to get their car right, make the adjustments. Less chances for them to make the adjustments. So, kind of leads more to those that were fast in practice. Helps them a little bit, I would think. But it's still a long race. 400 laps around here is a long race. I can see that. What was the stages last week? I feel like those were all wacky. I remember doing a double take when I saw them. Richmond, it was 70, 160, 170. So that was. So did you like Richmond's stage breakdown better than Martinsville? Because like stage 2 and 3 were basically the same at Richmond with the shorter first stage. Let's do. I feel like I still need a. Just looking at my Kyle Busch lines, I don't have any with Kyle Busch. No, there's one with Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, and William Byron. Chase Elliott, Dennis Hamlin. Let's throw William Byron on there. And then just see what kind of cap we're working with. I don't like that. Yeah, I think 3 Dominators is the way to go. Unfortunately, it's all high price guys, so you're going 3 Dominators and then 3, duds or halfway duds. But I think that's going to end up being the build. Let me pull up. I think Pockers tweeted fuel window earlier. Fuel window is 170 to 180 laps. So actually, those stages. This happened last week too. Jayski's been wrong 2 weeks in a row. The stages today are 80, 100, and then 220. So just a little bit different. But yeah, fuel window is 170 to 180 laps. Taking a look at pit road, just any potential. I didn't realize Cindric took that second spot. Kyle Busch has an opening behind him. Truex is smushed between Chris Buescher and Harrison Burton. That could potentially cause some issues. Hamlin's between Yaley and Haley, so kind of lucked out there since he starts so far back. Harvick has an opening in front of him. McDowell has an opening behind him. Logano has an opening behind him. Keselowski has an opening in front of him. Larson has an opening in front of him. Bowman has an opening behind him, and then Blaney's the very first one. Another interesting one you found. Let's throw this up there. Chase, Blaney, Kurt Busch, Almirola, LaJoy, and Eric Jones. I don't love going 1-2 at Martinsville starting positions, but you could definitely see, if Almirola does grab the lead early and then Chase Elliott comes on later in the race or like middle of the race after Almirola leads, Kurt Busch is solid. Eric Jones is kind of a question mark. It's definitely like a tournament play, I think. But you're getting probably the two best cars today with Blaney and Elliott. Kurt Busch is always good at Martinsville. And then you just need Almirola to lead some laps, which isn't out of the question. I'm not gonna play it, but I don't hate it, if that makes sense. I'd probably consider doing something like this. Going Bubba and Briscoe instead of Jones and Almirola. And then there's just trying to roll with two dominators with Blaney and Elliott, which I don't particularly love that either. I still think you need three doms today. Ty Dillon, the cheapest I'm going. I'd go down to LaJoy. And maybe like if you can really put together like a kick-ass lineup, but you have to go down to like Balicki or Yaley. I've done that a couple times today. So I have one lineup with Yaley and I have two lineups with Balicki today so far. Just because I could fit who I wanted to up top. But for the most part, so far I have 5 lineups with LaJoy, 13 lineups with Ty Dillon, and 10 with Harrison Burton. I don't like being on the chalk that much, but it is what it is. Busch, Truex, Kyle Busch, Byron, Bubba, and Ty. Leaves you an extra 5. If you wanted to get off of Chase Elliott, I don't hate it. I think you need Blaney on there though. And yeah, I think you need Blaney on there, but I don't know. I'm not sure where I want to. That's tough. That's tough. Chase, Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Allmendinger, Wallace, Ty. Yeah, I don't hate that one. If Kyle Busch is going to be the secondary dominator or the second dominator. And then, I mean, you could do the same line if you wanted to do Blaney and Bowman, and then get off the Ty Dillon chalk and go Harrison. Which I'm going to lock that one in, actually. Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman, Wallace Allmendinger, Burton. One lineup, then I'm getting off here. Or one more lineup. So if anybody has any suggestions, speak now or forever hold your peace. Gotta start with Chase. Where are we at? All these that I make on here are for the $4 20 entry max and the $1 20 entry max, and then I make my higher dollar lineups closer to race time or once I get off of here. This, like, coming on here is more of like a brain dump and like a just not messing around, but just getting my head on right. And then I really dig in for lineup building after and focus on the high dollar ones. To this, it's kind of just fun. Let's go Chase Elliott. Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman. I don't trust Harvick enough. I probably need more Truex exposure. I mean, I certainly don't feel good about Yaley, and like, I'd rather go Bilicki. I think Bilicki has a better car if you can afford it. I put in a golf lineup today. I think I did pretty good with it. They all made the cut. If I can cash, I'll be happy. Yeah, exactly. It's not comfortable going any of these punts. You're literally just hoping they don't wreck. Like, the difference between them is like one's gonna finish 30th and one's gonna finish 31st. Like, it's not gonna be a huge difference typically. It's just nailing the top. I personally prefer Bilicki over Yaley, but it's like there's no huge advantage. 100% AJ. How many lineups you got? That's my optimal according to my projections. So yeah, I like that one. Yeah, everybody's feeling there's world top 4 optimal. Yep, I have been. I won't be doing it next week because I'm on vacation. I probably won't even play DraftKings at all next week, but then I'll be back for Talladega. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. I feel like I have 2 lineups with Bubba and Allmendinger in it. How did Harvick hurt you last week? He finished second. Logano's the one that killed. Yeah, I was looking so good up until I finished second or third. Harvick did. I was looking so good up until Logano's issue. Then my whole day went to shit. Which, not going to complain, but that's getting old happening. Which 3 weeks ago, I had a great day. So keep going. It's a long season. Long season. Strategy was good, I believe, on Logano, on Harvick last week. Perfectly fine with that strategy. I'd do it again. I didn't expect Richmond to change that much track-wise. Just taking a look here at practice charts. Chase's car was just so good. So strong. Cindric, Blaney, Logano, all strong. Such an awkward amount. Joining late, but thoughts on Keselowski? I'm not for fully fading him. Just starting 9th, that's tough. But he's so good at Martinsville. I wish he would have showed a little bit more speed in practice. He was a 10th off in 5-lap average, 10th off in 10-lap average, 10th 0.13 off in 15, and then 0.16 off in 20-lap average, just compared to Chase Elliott. So I'm not liking that. I'd like Keselowski a lot better if he started 19th instead of 9th. If I'm there, I'm probably going Kurt Busch. I don't think it's worth getting too crazy and going Keselowski. Like, just go Kurt Busch, unless you're stuck salary wise. Let's roll with I don't even know where I want to go with this. Start adding random. Let's roll Chastain in there. Do a Bowman, Byron. Chase Elliott, William Byron, Alex Bowman, Ross Chastain. Yeah, I'm just going to roll with it. Ross Chastain. Okay. All right. Those are the. I'm going to check out Pockrace's timeline real quick to make sure if there's any breaking news. Again, if there's a competition caution, it makes me like Allmendinger even more. Bob wasn't. Didn't think that. Wasn't sure that they'd have a competition caution today. They usually tell us, a couple hours before the race. So there is still 4 hours until lock. So there's plenty of time. Make sure you follow my Twitter feed for any late breaking stuff. Thanks for tuning in today. Like I said, I won't be here next week. So talk to you in 2 weeks. We'll do another one of these for Talladega. I think it's Talladega in 2 weeks. Right? Yeah. Talladega in 2 weeks. Good luck tonight at Martinsville. Should be a very good race. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. You can always tweet me. See you guys.